Alright, hello Twitter, this is Jonathan here with Extra Lives Gaming, also known as Okamigemi on Twitter. Now, I'm making this video today just because I could. I wanted to talk about Far Cry. Started playing it last night. Went into it knowing it was a shooter, knowing it was a stealth from telling the picture, you know, type of war game, I guess you want to call it. I knew it was an open world more or less, but I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I had not the faintest idea. Um, I looked a little into it on Wikipedia, just trying to learn about the game before I actually went into it. Because I work a lot, so I don't have time to really get invested into a game. I'm not invested, but I have no time to really play it till I really look at it. So I had to do a little research first, and then you play it as a guy named Jack Carver, and your boat exploded due to mercenaries, and you're on this island, and now you're trying to fight to save her. And the premise seems very straightforward. I'm like, okay, this should be no problem at all. And I started playing last night, and went to the first hut, killed a couple guys. And I'm like, okay, cool, this is not a problem. And I went to the second island. There's a guy in a tower. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then your friend in the radio, I'm thinking it's your friend, was all like, hell, if you alert one of them, you'll alert all of them. And I'm like, okay, so it's like Metal Gear. And yeah, how wrong I was. This game is, at least for me, it's very crazy. And it's been very hard. I'm not bad at games, but I haven't played a proper game, really like an action game, in a long time. So I've gotten very rusty. Playing this was nice for me because it's a way to get me back into playing good games. And this game is definitely challenging. And as I looked last night on and I googled it, people agree this game is very challenging, and the way they set the checkpoints are just far enough apart that the game keeps you on the edge of your seat. And I would say that's true. Like, the AI is apparently very intelligent. Like, one point they actually went around the other way to try and go around me. I didn't expect that. And now I do, but it's like, at the time I was like, what the heck? The only thing I really hate is they have eagle vision. They can see you from miles away, and you'll get shot and you'll die before you know what hit you, and that's a little ridiculous. But that's where a lot of the tension and anxiety starts to come from, because you know something is everywhere waiting to kill you. So you start to prepare for anything. Last night I did the first section. I went to the tanker, went all through that relatively fairly easily until I got to the part where you had to fight the helicopter. I climbed this ladder to go onto the deck, and saw the helicopter. I'm like, okay, this isn't cool. I didn't want to do it. I was freaking out. No, this is not going to be cool. I can tell that just from looking at it. And went up there. It died horribly. And it sent me back to luckily the checkpoint was right at the bottom of the ladder. So I went up. I'm like, okay, what am I doing wrong? What am I looking for? So I just hurried up there. Got stuck on the ladder because the game is horrible physics in terms of collision detection. Died on the ladder. Third time I actually got up there, ran around like a chicken with my head cut off, trying to figure out what was coming from where. And as I figured out, I was totally surrounded. There was guys to the left, guys to the right, guys behind me, and a helicopter in front of me. And I'm like, what the heck? Something is wrong. And as I stood there perplexed, trying to figure this out, I realized that this game is different in a lot of ways, and I was trying to figure it out. This game is it doesn't play by normal rules that most games do. It does its own thing. Normally in a game, like, you'll have your level and you'll have your background, which is normally fake. But in this, everything is rendered. Everything's in one shot, and it's like, I didn't expect that. So once I came to that conclusion, I was like, oh, I wonder if I can go down to the next level and actually fight the helicopter in a more understandable manner, which I was able to, and but just doing that, I learned how the game worked and how it actually, how it wants you to play. This game throws cheap punches left and right, but if you're clever enough and you're persistent enough, you can get by it. But yeah, I can see why this game got sequels like it did, and I'm looking forward to playing all of them after I beat this. But yeah, this game is ridiculous so far. And just from looking at this picture here, him all banged up and bruised and cut, I can totally vouch for that. That is 100% true. And this is going to be an interesting journey for me, and I'm curious about, like, the later levels. How much harder is it going to get? How much more challenging? How much more crafty am I going to have to be? And then there's, bosses, different environments. And it's going to get crazy. I know it is. And I learned a lot last night. I learned that stealth is the key. You have to crawl, like, everywhere. And even walking in the crouch position, your shoes still make sound, so they can still hear you. So, unfortunately, crawling everywhere in the prone position is the only way to actually get around. What else? Enemies are highly intelligent, apparently. I maybe could give them too much credit, but from what I can see, they are very smart. They will try and get around you, and they will gang up on you like there's no tomorrow. So, but they're stupid in the sense that they'll line up at a doorway and get shot. Like, that's the first thing I figured out. It's like, so one thing you'll learn with games is that you have to test things out to know it's going to work, to know how the game functions. So, like, one of the first things I did actually was in the very first area that I was trying to tell what kind of game it was. I didn't know it was stealth. I didn't know if it was action. And I learned pretty early on that I thought it was stealth action, but it's more stealth than action. And I alerted one of the guards, and I was like, what do I do? So I hid behind this door, and he came to me, and I was just boom, 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 he's dead. And then the next guy came along, boom, 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 and then they all just lined up. So I'm like, okay, if I can alert one, and I can get somewhere good in a good position, I can just take him out. And there's also, like, the zoom ability, so you can really get a good pinpoint shot at an enemy. But yeah, this game is hard and it's challenging, and I'm looking forward to playing it. I really am looking forward to beating it, and I do want to try the others now. If you end up playing Far Cry, I would highly suggest so. If not, if you don't feel you can, at least watch my live streams. I try and do them every night around 2 o'clock in the morning until about 4 o'clock. So about 2 hours, hour and a half, give or take. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Listen to me ramble on a bit. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.